This is the last one, I promise. Um, this one is last but certainly not the least. It is bar none the absolute worst malfunction you'll ever see happen. And if you've ever had it happen, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because it's like a lot of people don't know how to fix this. Honestly, it's complicated. Um, a lot of people think that it's like a deadline weapon borderline because like that's how bad the malfunction is. And people will call people over at the range, and then the people they call over won't know how to fix it. It's pretty bad. It's called a brass over bolt malfunction or a bolt override. Um, in the the thing that was put up, like the infantryman like general knowledge pamphlet packet, whatever. Um, it's in there, but the way that it's described isn't completely accurate. The charging handle impingement part is a little bit more accurate, but it's not specifically talking about what I'm going to talk about. So this is going to require a pretty in-depth explanation and demonstration of how this is going to work. Um, so what we have here is the bolt override. And it kind of sort of looks like a double feed, but it's not. The best way I can try to explain what's happening in there is you've got, in this instance, you have an empty case that's basically somehow made its way up into like the charging handle slot, like inside the charging handle, and the carrier key, the gas key for the bullet carrier, is basically holding it in place, and it's got it pinned in place. So like the front of the case is like in the chamber, and then the back end of the case is in that charging handle slot. If this can happen, like in the normal operation of the weapon when you're firing, it's just it's kind of rare. But this can happen like over the course of like what would normally happen with a double feed. So there's potential for this to also be a live round. So from there, basically, we can go into like considering the fact that if it's a double feed, then it's a magazine related issue. If it's not a live round up here, it's an empty case, then it's just one of the 1 in a million things that happens sometimes you'll have to fix. So here's how you fix this. All right. The way that this is going to present is, as you see that there's it almost looks like a double feed, and you have to like look at it very carefully to make sure that it's not. If you're going to go ahead and attempt like remedial action as per a double feed, what's going to happen is you're going to drop the magazine, strip it out rather, and you're going to go to like pull the charging handle, and it's not going to budge a fucking inch. Like it's just going to be stuck right here. So it's going to be like half a double feed issue, and then it's going to kind of present as sort of like half a whatchamacallit, a failure to extract issue where like the charging handle's frozen. But it gets worse. So the first thing you're going to do is when you identify this issue is you're going to mortar the rifle. So you're going to take the rifle just like you're trying to like eject, just as though you're trying to get the round to extract by force. So you're going to take the charging handle and you're going to tap it on the ground or whatever you have available to kind of get it to move. And this is where people start to freak out because this isn't going to fix the issue. Once you've gotten the bolt back, basically what's happened now is it's still frozen, but you've created space between like the the barrel extension breech, whatever you want to call it, and then the actual bolt face. And you can see here that you can't get the round out at this point because you've got the charging handle and the bolt basically fused together by this case. So what's going to happen now is if you push this charging handle forward, the bolt's also going to move forward. They can't like move separately the way they're supposed to. So everything's locked together: the bolt, the case, and the charging handle. So Now what you have to do is you have to basically try to unbind the charging handle from the bolt. And the way you do that is, like I said, we've created space. Now what we have to do is, in order to separate the bolt and the charging handle, you're going to take your finger, like literally your finger, and you have to insert it from the magazine well, and basically put your finger right on the bolt face like that, okay? So when you do that, you don't have to push the bolt face necessarily as much as you have to basically stop the bolt from moving. That's one of the misconceptions a lot of people have when I'm trying to like show them how to do this. So you've got your finger on the bolt face, and you're trying to keep it from moving forward, and make sure that like it's not going to move forward, so that way you don't like slam the bolt like on your finger. And once you've got that done, you put your finger on the bolt face, and then while you're holding it in place, just push the charging handle forward while you're keeping pressure on the bolt face. And once you've done that, you should be able to push the charging handle all the way forward. Now that case should just drop out. So now you've freed up everything. You've gotten that stuck case out of like the the interface between like the charging handle and the bolt carrier. And now you can go ahead and insert that magazine and chamber another round, and now you're good to go. And that's how you fix a bolt override.